Hi everyone, this is James M. Praagh, and welcome to the Hay House Summit Mystical Connections. Yay! This was really a wonderful, opportunity for so many of you. I know you've enjoyed the summit so far with all of our wonderful speakers and teachers and authors and insiders who have insight. So I'm so thrilled to be here, and for all my Facebook followers here too, you're going to be part of the Hay House Summit right now. And I wanted to talk to you because I know many of the other speakers have mentioned different aspects of intuition, which is really what the Mystical Summit is about. And I'm talking very quickly because I just ran up the stairs. I'm like, I got to get there on time. So I want to talk a little bit about intuition, since we all have that. So intuition, the word itself, means into the soul. So it's really the soul's language, the soul's voice. And every single person is born psychic, okay? Every single person is born with that ability. So it's a sixth sense. We're born with six senses, not five senses. And we have to honor that and know that about ourselves. And you all know that because you've had a hunch about something and later it turns out to be correct. Or you've felt something about a person, later on it turns out to be correct. So you need to learn how to listen to those hunches, how to activate that intuition, and really honor it every day in your life. So I'm going to give you a couple of pointers that you can do. And also, in my course here, the Healing Psychic Mediumship course in the Hay House, you can look into there, of course, further. But there are a couple of things I want to start off with, and I'd like to start off with you in order to activate your intuition. I want to give you kind of a meditation, or really a mind journey that I take you on. And it's going to just, we're just going to channel it and see what happens. But I want you to just follow it, have fun. It's really important that we have fun around us. I want you to know that everything is energy, of course, as we know, and energy flows through us and all around us. And when the energy is stagnant, we don't like that because things get blocked. And dis-ease, illness, comes from flowing energy, which is not able to go, right? So, but it's an emotional block, physical block, a mental block, a spiritual block. The energy is not flowing. And it'll manifest, if it stays in that condition, it'll manifest physically somehow for you. So I just want you now just to close your eyes, and we're going to do a little meditation, a little mind journey on really learning, just experiencing that true sense of ourself, our soul's voice, that intuition. So as you sit in this space, just sitting there with your eyes closed, I just want you to turn your thoughts, your eyes now that close out on the outside world, open on the inner world of light, and knowing that you are indeed a beautiful, lovely light. And you can choose whatever color light you'd like to be, emerald or ruby or gold or orange or red or yellow, any color you feel resonates with you. So first bring yourself to that space. There might be a combination of colors too that you become aware of. So when you say or you sense that color or colors there with you, who you are, you identify yourself as a human with your name. Try to now identify yourself with that color and go deep in your soul with that color. Why do you feel a sense that you are the combination of colors or that one color? What is it about that color? What brings you in? Why does that resonate with your soul? Good. Good. And now I'd like for you to become mindful now, just with the thoughts of your mind, your head, there, of the space above you, all the way above you. There's an opening. We as soul beings only have about 20% of our soul being in the physical body, where really 80% is outside of this physical shell. So let's start tuning into that space above us and let yourself just go as high as you can with your thoughts, with your mind. Let the mind elevate higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. Not judging, just sensing, just feeling, just being. Good. Good. A quick way to do this also is to imagine that there's a bright star far, far away that has that color of you. It's made from that color. And go there with your mind right now, far, far away. Good. That's good. And now I want you to become aware of your mind going down as far as you can through the earth, that there are roots at the bottom of your feet going all the way down straight through the earth, connecting with Gaia, Mother Earth energy, the natural, healing, loving Mother Earth energy, who takes all of our limitations, our negativity energy, our fears, and we can give them to her, and she can transmute that into fertilizer for us, things to grow, for us to nurture us, to secure us. So we must give her that to fertilize. It's fertilization. The stuff we no longer need, our garbage, we give to Mother Earth, and she beautifully transmutes that to healing energy, nurturing energy for the plant life, for the water. Good. Just with that in your mind. Good. And now place your thoughts of your mind to the left side of you. And let yourself reach with your mind as far as you can to the left side of you. And you might find as you do this that just reaching out, and there is no end, which is fine. But your color reaches all the way out to the left. And you might feel or sense that the left side of you, as you reach into that space to your left, feels a little different. I just want you to become aware, recognize what that feels like. The left side all the way out. What that space around you feels like. So you can become familiar with it. Very good. And now to the right side. Just reach out as far as you can with your thoughts, with your mind, all the way to the right side of you. All the way to the right side of you. And go out. And you might feel the difference in the energy, a subtle energy. Subtle energy. Good. And go all the way out with that. How does that feel to you? Now again, remember, we're not judging the feeling. We're just sensing it. What do you sense? Because the sixth sense, your intuition, is sensing what that right side feels like, that space. Good. And now behind you, all the way behind you, sense what that feels like. It could be very subtle. If there are any limitations, crash through those limitations with that color of light of who you are. Because we are all part of everything and everyone, each other. Everything is one. Everything is that God light. Beautiful. And on your own now, I just want you to, if you could, kind of spiral all the way around, left, right, left, in front of you, to the right and the back, like a spiral of energy coming back to you into your heart space, the seat of the soul. And just feel what that's like. And as you go deep into the heart space, feel the love of who you are as your soul self, your soul being. And I want you to feel your truth, who you are. No judgment, no judgment, just who you are as a soul. You've had many lifetimes, many experiences on this earth and many other places, planets and galaxies and solar systems, to experience all these wonderful, magical things. These moments, these memories, people, situations, places. What we as humans call the good, the bad, because we put judgments on things. Imagine that all we have to call them are experiences. They're all in your heart center. Good. Now, as you look into that heart center, I just want you now to come into your mind with a symbol of your intuition. Of your intuition, let a symbol come forth from your heart, maybe to your third eye or sit right in front of you, of a symbol which will represent your intuition. In the center of that symbol, find that same color of your soul. Good. And as we sit together, whether this is a live recording or later, it does not matter, because we are here the same energy, and we ask, Divine Heavenly Parent, we ask a blessing on every single person who is experiencing not only this recording, but a part of the Mystic Summit, for all of us here, to remember our intuition, our path, our truth, the reality of who we are. And may this truth help to enhance our experience, our journey, and every other soul who comes upon our path. And always remember that we are the student and the teacher at the same time. And so it is. Good. And slowly open up your eyes and be as one. That's great. So if you do that, and if you do that, you will find just putting yourself in that space, in that mindset, and opening yourself up and surrendering to that truth of your heart. That's your intuition. So when you want to activate it, you want to honor it, you want to bring yourself to that honoring space, remembering really who you are. Just remembering who you are is half the battle. So that helps. I also want to share my insights about the lesson during the summit. So there were certain topics that I talked about in the summit. So intuition, questioning the mind. And as human beings, we tend to question everything, our thoughts. And is this real? Is this not real? That's a very human thing to do. We've been programmed from a very early age, from 1 to 7. You have to do things a certain way in order to be accepted, in order to be loved. This is the right way or the wrong way. And that's not the way it is at all. Really what it is just experiences. And love or fear. Remember, it's always love or fear. So how your mind gets in the way, many times the ego will get in the way of your intuition. Don't think about it. You can't think about it. You just have to become familiar. I often say when we question the mind, it's going with that sense of love, that sense of truth. That's what resonates as truth with us, and what does not resonate as truth with us. That's really what we want to do. Okay? So I also want to talk about the second part about quieting the mind too. Quieting the mind is really, and this is true for meditation, inner journeys, just really with the breath. I use the breath to quiet the mind, and I inhale through 3 times. Like I imagine a beautiful light coming through the top crown chakra, illuminating the throat chakra down to my heart. And I bring that into every cell, every muscle, every fiber of my being, an energy of love. And then I exhale out of my mouth at a count of 5. So you always want to go 2 beats longer in the exhalation, count to 5. And I let any negativity, any limitations, any ego part of myself, that human part that is not for my highest good, I release that. Any energies I'm picking up from other people, I release that. So it's just bringing yourself to the quiet mind and do about 4 or 5 cycles of that. That'll bring you to a space where the mind is quiet. And when you're quieting the mind, remember, as I mentioned this in the lesson, you don't want to be caught up with what we call the monkey mind, in that you might sit there in a meditative state, an altered state, where you think of things about, what am I going to have for dinner tonight? Fish or chicken or vegetables. It's okay. We're all going to have those thoughts because the monkey mind, we're humans. So just acknowledge them and let them pass by. Don't put any emotional energy to them, because that's important. I think it's very important throughout life to listen to that little voice within. And of course, as I mentioned in the course, there are really ways you can do it every day to use your intuition, to test your intuition. For instance, just like today, let's say we don't go down and we say, I would like to get some asparagus. I wonder where in the store this asparagus is. If you haven't been to the store. Or let's say I want a can of, cream of mushroom soup. Let me try to intuit what aisle that's on. Or I want to get a parking space. Let me try to intuit what row I can get a parking space, or what near the curb where the parking space is. Or let's say you have a meeting with somebody, a business meeting, and you've never met them before. Try to intuit, what do they look like? What is their personality like? What do they feel like? Try to do that. And then the next step, try to feel, sense their appearance, physical appearance, dark hair, light hair, complexion, what kind of clothes are they wearing? Are they wearing a dress? Is there a suit? What color? If it's a suit, are they wearing a tie? What color is the tie? As much information as you can really sense. And practicing every day, intuition is like a muscle. The more you use it, the more it grows. So try that one. Have fun with it. The elevator banks come down. I do this every week when I'm in a hotel. Which one's going to come first? Which one's going to open first? I think a lot of us do that. That's your intuition. The more you do it, the better you get at that feeling, at that hunch. And really, it's up to you to discover your own spiritual unique gifts, because other people have different gifts. Everybody's different from one degree or another. So you can never measure yourself up to anybody else. And it's up to you to let your soul expand. Let your soul come out and really open up to what is right for you at that particular time. I don't like judgment. I'm really so against that. It's just because everybody's experience on the earth is different. As long as no one hurts somebody mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, it's okay, but remember that. So judgment's not good. Now, how do we gain confidence? How we gain confidence in our intuition is really by using it over and over and over again, and getting to that subtle feeling, that subtle space of that resonation and what feels true to our heart, what feels right to us. The more you use that, the better you get at the confidence, because it works out. You see, you're right. Oh my gosh, I got that right. Go with that feeling. So when I do mediumship a lot with my students, we often, they'll say, working with one-on-one with a person, and the recipient says, no, it doesn't make sense. And the medium gets upset and says, no, no, no. No's are sometimes more important than yeses, because you got to know then which energy then to tune into in order to get a yes. So it's all very subtle. Intuitive energy is very, very subtle. And really, it's wonderful when you use your intuition, that sixth sense, your psychic self, your knowingness. I call it the knowingness. And that's really what it is. We walk around in a sea of thought. You know, energy comes in, signals coming in from other people, from the outside world, and you get it hitting your solar plexus, which is a psychic center, and we're giving out signals. So it's like a radio antenna. Constantly that's happening. We're being bombarded. So it's up to you to measure, to know what resonates as truth with you and what does not. That's really how you gain confidence. It's really how you discover your own path, and you learn how to discern between what's your thoughts and what's outside of you. Now, I talk a lot about in the course reading the energy of people and places. Same thing. So if you read someone, what do you feel like? Go for clairsentiently, cleansensing. What am I feeling about the space as I walk into the room? You're observer. So put yourself in that observation space. I think observing is really, really important. Again, not judging it, but observing what I'm feeling, what I feel with that person. A great way to do this, of course, is going to a shopping mall, where there are so many people walking back and forth, and you sense or feel an energy of a person. Once you sense an energy of a person, try to sense their color. What color are they? So, of course, it's a mixture of colors in the auric field, but every single person has a predominant color. That's a purple person. That's a blue person. That's a yellow. Yellow could be mental thoughts. Red person, oh, they need more physical. Orange can be their very emotional reactor. A blue could be their very creative, I call it reactors. They react to energy a certain way and give off a certain way. So I'm a blue person, there's no doubt it. But then I'm going to have a lot of indigo or purple, which is the psychic, so I have that mixture. And you will find as you start getting more involved with the energy of people and the places that you will be drawn to the certain people that are like you, because like attracts like. It's a universal law that like attracts like. So it's really a sense to have fun and discover this energy about people, about places, and go with your gut. You do not want to be stuck in a situation where you do not listen to your gut. You get stuck in your head, and later on you're like, oh, I knew this was going to happen. How many times have we said that, right? So with the spirit world, I know in lesson 3 we talk about the spirit world. And the spirit world is all around us. The spirit world is all around us. There is no place above the clouds. They're here. They're just at a different frequency or vibration. What that means is everything is really made of molecules all around us. This illusion of the body, and we're all in energy. Around us right now are gamma rays, X-rays, microwaves, sound waves, radio is all around us. We don't see them. Television waves, we don't see people's faces, we don't hear their voices right there, but it's there. It's just that the human being is not on that, it's just in that spectrum. It's like a radio dial, I guess you'd say, from 88 to 106, and that's it for the human being. They're caught up in this one level spectrum right here, but there's so much more beyond that, and that's why that first exercise, the mind journey, I want to just try that to reach out. So to reaching your mind to that different space. And the spirit world are being all around us. We can easily connect with them because they're just a thought away. So the moment we get into that powerful space, just being, and after our breathing, and we can ask them, please come and give me one simple thought and drop it into my mind. The mind is part of the soul. The brain dies of physical death, but the mind is the soul. This was in my class, my course here, my lesson. But so you just want to open up the mind being the soul. So really what you're doing is the spirit in the spirit world is a mind, right? So what the spirit person is doing, they're sending a thought from their mind to your mind. So it's really telepathic. They'll send that thought along with maybe a memory that they have, or a visual of how they look, or the scene of their death scene, or a memory of a child, or what you've been doing recently. They can talk to you, and you can hear them say, I was with you when you opened up that jewelry box. So they're all around us. Just be open to that. Lesson 3, I also talk about psychic versus medium. Everybody's psychic from one degree or another. So everybody is intuitive. Intuition. Everybody's a soul, so that's your language. So that can be developed. which I just told you those different ways to develop it, and in the course I talk about that. So developing your intuition. Not everybody is a medium in my respect. I think people can have pieces of mediumship, but I believe the analogy I like to use is that everybody's born with the ability to play the piano, but not everybody is a concert pianist. So this is my belief system. I think that there are people that are born with innate ability or sensitivity to reach on beyond to that mediumship world. And I'm not saying that you can't do that every once in a while to go there, for sure. But there are certain people that have a makeup, if you will, to be a medium. So the difference between psychic and medium, psychic is you're able to feel energy, see energy, heal energy, become aware of the energy around you, around a person, around a place, around a thing. And mediums, every medium is a psychic, not every psychic is a medium, which I know you've heard before in this course. I know you have during the summit, rather. The summit you've heard that from many of my colleagues. It's very, very true. So in order to be a good medium, you have to be a very, very good psychic first. A psychic, you feel the energy, know something of that knowingness. Where a medium not only has that, but they're able to bring their mind to a certain level of frequency, higher up, if you will, to that spirit level, to that higher level outside the human, if you will, right at the edge of the human level, and be able to receive that information, whether it's through sensing or feeling or knowing or hearing. So that's mediumship. And mediumship, being able to have a communication with those beings on a higher level. Very different than psychic. So it's two different types of energy. And for those interested to learn further, your further discovery can be art of discovery, as I like to say it, is learning the differences in the subtleties between psychic energy and mediumship energy. And mediumship is hard. It's really, really hard because you're really going to keep that vibration, sustaining that higher frequency as you're giving messages. That's where you're putting yourself. As you know from listening to Hay House Radio, I'm putting myself constantly at this higher level of being and sustaining that. At the end of the hour of the radio, I went right down. And of course, I ground myself. And of course, I prepared before getting to that higher level, which a medium who knows what they're doing will do. Yeah. So opening up to the spirit world, I talk about in lesson 3. And it really is very true because they're all around us. We just have to get out of our heads. And I mentioned this in the lesson, I'm going to repeat it, where you can really put yourself kind of as you're sitting in that meditative space, in a corner of the room with your mind, just putting yourself up in a corner of a room or down. I also go down below the carpet and what's underneath the carpet and try to have an exploration or discovery of, okay, what's underneath the carpet? Is it panel? Is it wood? What kind of wood is it? Are there nails? What's holding it together? Are there joists in the place you're in? If I go up to the ceiling, I go to the corner of the room, is there plaster there? Is there a drywall? And I go there, put my mind there so spirit can just come right in. And I get that. Remember that everything is done in love. It's always done in love. And there might be people that the naysayers who don't understand the proper work of mediumship. But mediumship is all about love. So if the information comes through in mediumship, we get the information, the evidential details, and it comes in an energy of love. That's God's work. We're doing the right thing, right? Okay. And I also want to talk about transfixing. We talked about that lesson 3 of the spirit world in our summit here, of transfixing the spirit, being part of the spirit. And as you come so close with them, they become part of us. And I love doing that. I love kind of releasing and surrendering myself to spirit and let them come kind of overlapping me and just really letting you surrender to the side and they really overtake you, if you will. And when I say overtake, you let them in and sense that I have large eyes here, they're brown eyes, I have blonde hair going down to my shoulder. And you get these physical traits. And it's just coming over. And the more you surrender, the easier it is for them to transform over you, right? So linking with the spirit world is really easy in that. It's really easy. It's easy if you practice and get out of your head. The biggest thing is getting out of your head. So I'm going to give this to you here. I mentioned this in the summit. But I really want to open up my mind. And I want to talk to a spirit. There are two things I talk about. That they're all around us all the time. And when I talk about transfixing the spirit, overshadowing. You're being overshadowed by them. And really what I want to talk about then is that the spirit world can drop a thought into your mind. And by asking them a question, they can just drop it right down into your mind. Don't overthink it. With mediumship, it's not overthinking it. It is really a sense of being passive. You're active, but you're very passive with your mind. Okay, so you're active and keeping the energy up, the power up, but you're also, so you're keeping that vibration up, but then you're very passive and you listen. You learn to listen quite well. I often talk all the time. I think I put this in the lesson. I'm not sure if I did or not because I have no memory, right? So what I want to say to you is many times I sit in the dark. I sit in the dark once a day for 15 minutes. And what I do with that is it opens up my mind and expands the mind. So that really the spirit people, the world around me gets closer. And I'm not in the physical sense where I have to see, hear. I am just experiencing the spaces around me. So you can do that every day. And even with just that beginning exercise that I do, the mind journey of bringing the energy of your color out. And let the spirit world work with you in that darkened space. You'll feel them touch you. You'll feel them work on your energetic body. You'll feel them work on your auric field. You'll get a sense that they're coming closer and in and expanding the auric field. So try that out. It's really good for you to do that. And not only helps you with your own soul's growth, but I promise you it helps you in everyday life too. Because it's hard to not become more aware in everyday life if you're doing that on a regular basis. So that's what I have to say, and that's what I have to share. I hope you've enjoyed the summit. Hope you've enjoyed this little bit here that I've talked to you. It's hard for me to keep this like less than 15, 20 minutes because I'm so enthusiastic. But the Hay House Summit, really this wonderful mystical connections has been great, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And lots of love to you all. And also you can find me back on my vanpraagh.com on Hay House Radio every Tuesday. And my school, of course, the JVP School of Mystical Arts. Blessings of love. Use your soul, it's calling. Okay, bye-bye.